and welcome back to another University Deep Dive. Today, we're joined by student Dylan Weiskirk. Dylan, thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to be talking today about studying real estate at the undergraduate level at Indiana University. So, to get us started, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Spencer.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Dylan, really nice to have you. It's good to see you again. Michael and I had a chance to speak at Indiana University, a week or so ago, and robust real estate program. Excited to talk about what y'all are doing there. To get started here, you are studying real estate at the undergraduate level at Indiana University. What does it mean to you to be a real estate student, to study real estate at IU?
Well, I think it really comes down to a variety of different things. Studying real estate at Indiana can be as simple as just going through the courses and getting your major. But as I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit more today, there's so many different opportunities for students to get more involved, to get experience, real world and within school. So really, I think it's about providing a lot of just learning opportunities for students to learn and grow in the real estate space.
Great. Yeah. So let's get into first the structure of real estate at IU. Is real estate a major? Is it a minor? Is it a concentration? That's the first question. And then a follow on to that that we'll need you to answer is what's the route to study real estate, right? Do you declare prior to arriving on campus, prior to your freshman year? Do you declare during your freshman and sophomore year? Kind of walk us through the structure of real estate study at Indiana.
Yeah, so in terms of declaring your major, basically how Indiana works is you will, when you start school, some students are direct admits into the Kelly School of Business, some are not, but you do have to declare a major. And basically, every student who has a real estate major does have to be inside the Kelly School of Business. So once you are admitted in, whether it's direct admit, basically going into IU with that direct admission, or going throughout your first year and then getting the admission after your freshman year, you'll declare a major. But you can switch it at any time until after something called the I core, which is the intensive core. That's basically marketing management, finance, and ops. And that's basically like what Kelly is known for. But after that, that's when you truly have to declare your major. Real estate is a major at Indiana, and it's often paired with finance. So a lot of people do that double major, and the reason why is because there's only about 4 more courses that you have to take after finance to get that double major. So it's a really easy, like awesome pair between the two majors.
Yeah. So, what about your experience, Dylan? So, at some point in your personal experience, you declared real estate. When did that happen? When did you know that you wanted to study real estate, and what led to that decision for you?
Absolutely. So I was a little fortunate because I have a brother who also happened to go to Indiana University, also studied real estate. He's been a mentor my whole life. So I've always looked up to him. So I declared my real estate major going into my freshman year, as well as a finance major. Still, both those are my majors, but um, I was a little fortunate. But I know students who, declare right at the end of I core. So basically, for me, I think I was a little lucky going in knowing that I want to do real estate, but it's by no means the only route.
Interesting. So, speak a little bit to those students that are maybe arrived on campus undeclared, or that are looking at a variety of universities and considering IU amongst others. What resources are available at Indiana to help students think about real estate, understand the track, and ultimately make that decision?
Yeah, so and this is kind of a great intro into the real estate club, which I've been fortunate to be on the executive board as a sophomore and president this year. It's a huge club. We have about 300 members in it. So really, I mean, just a tremendously large organization. But I will say that's the best place to start. And the reason why it's laid out pretty clearly on the website too, to kind of give students an understanding of what the general track is. But the real estate club provides a great introduction into real estate. And even though I came and declared with the real estate major, I didn't really know that was what I wanted to do 100%. And the real estate club allowed me to understand that this was where my passion was.
So students can join the real estate club before they declare real estate as a major.
You don't even need to be a real estate major to be in the club.
Oh,
We have people
interesting.
even outside of Kelly, the Kelly School of Business, that are in the real estate club. So we have people who are majoring in the SPIA department, which is basically anything with it's the School of Public Health. So can really be a wide range of stuff. We have people in that are doing informatics majors that are in the real estate club. So really broad, and it also can be other majors obviously within Kelly. So
Got it. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
Well, that's a good segue into the the curriculum, the course offerings in real estate, right? So you declare real estate. What courses are required in order to say major in real estate? What are some of the electives? And in your personal experience, what is a course or several courses that have been especially valuable for you?
Yeah, so this is a great way to talk about the curriculum and also some of the other opportunities outside of just the curriculum too.
Sure.
So the curriculum, in order to get a real estate major, you'll have to do basically all the prerequisites to get to I-Core, and then there's a bunch of finance classes, a few accounting classes that you have to do, and then the core real estate courses that you have to take are R305, which is an introduction to real estate analysis. That's usually the first one that students take, and you can take that before I-Core as well. And that's basically you're learning how to, do valuations, best highest and best use analysis. You're learning how to do a DCF, really just the core basics of real estate. And this also can be for a lot of students who are looking to invest on their own in the future. It's a great way for them to learn how to do that. But beyond that, there's R440, R443, and L408, which are basically the next level of that real estate analysis course. L408 is a basically a law class designed around real estate as well. So definitely a lot of course offerings. But outside of that, we also have something called the Commercial Real Estate Workshop. And we now have the IU Real Estate Private Equity Program, which only a few other undergraduate programs have in the country, where we are actually going to be raising real capital and investing it in real deals.
Interesting. Let's talk a little bit more about that. We can get to other call them extracurriculars, but this one is especially interesting at Indiana. Talk us more about this private equity fund program. Who can participate? What the structure looks like, and how real is it compared to the real world?
Yeah. So the way that you get into the private equity program is essentially you have to get into the workshop first, go throughout the entire, basically, you have to complete the workshop, and then you can apply to get into the private equity program. So I don't know how many real estate majors there are. There's a couple hundred at Indiana, and it's been growing tremendously, especially recently. But basically, the workshop class takes about 40 to 45 students. That's a case-based course where we do everything from development, private equity, brokerage, valuations cases, and we bring in real-world, basically professionals who bring real deals in, and we're just analyzing them, and we pitch the deals to these professionals. So once you complete that course, the basically your track record in the workshop as well as professional experience. You get paired against your peers that also apply, and we take about 10 to 15 students into that private equity program.
Wow. And so how does the private equity program work? You got these 10 to 15 students. I mean, are you investing real money in real deals? And in what part of the capital stack? You coming in is common equity on deals, pref equity, mezz, debt? Like what's the structure generally of the investments you're making?
Yeah, so basically, the private equity program, we are raising real capital. So basically, Indiana University is an amazing school, but there's also a lot of steps in order to truly be able to raise money and deploy it. Being that it's completely student run. We do have a faculty advisor who is also a professional in the real estate world, in particular the private equity field. So basically, that money so essentially this semester has been the final step of creating the PPM, the OM, the marketing deck. We've started outreach with sponsors as well as potential investors. And that first capital raise is actually only going to be IU alumni. And the
Mm,
plan in terms of where we are investing, essentially, we're investing with sponsors who we know and trust. And we're going in as an LP. Um, and we're marketing agnostic, meaning that we'll invest anywhere. We're probably going to focus more on the multifamily self storage space. Probably, I'd say, our two primary asset classes that we're looking into, but there's nothing that we won't necessarily look at. So that's a
fascinating. What
little brief
incredible
summary.
experience for you.
Yeah.
For you and others who join that, like, that's as real world as it comes. Let's talk a little bit about the alumni, support that you get, other real estate students get at Indiana. To what degree are you engaged with the alumni? How are they involved in either your studies, your extracurriculars, or even your job search?
Yeah. So alumni are 100% involved. I mean, I think the most amazing part about the alumni is we bring a lot of them down for the real estate club meetings. So we do weekly meetings, and they come and speak to all the students and try to get them engaged in real estate. And they might talk about real deals. They might talk about their experience. We just did a young graduates alumni panel this past week, and that was incredible. And I think what's amazing about that though is basically those guys, as well as a lot of the other speakers, everyone wants to help. Everyone that I've ever reached out to that is an IU alumni, they always get back to me. They always want to help out fellow Hoosiers. So the alumni network is really supportive. And the biggest thing I will say is wanting to help students get internships and jobs. Um,
Yeah.
Even students who are really young, freshmen, sophomores, there's still opportunities for them because alumni want to help. They'll put you in contact with someone they know, or if they're running a company, usually a smaller company, they might even have an opportunity for you. So, an
Yeah. So
amazing alumni network.
good, good. Well, let's talk a little bit more about careers and career outcomes then.
Yeah.
As you look to those peers that have graduated before you, as you look at internship opportunities in your class and in underclass, um, what types of roles are real estate students from Indiana going into? Um, what markets geographically are they ending up in? Help us understand a little bit about what the future career prospects are for those who study real estate at Indiana.
Yeah, and I think I'll start out by saying I think as our program has grown and we've been able to attract, amazing students, that where we're placing students has gone better and better over time, I would say. But the main places that we're placing, Chicago would definitely be the number one city. A lot of students are from Chicago, or a lot of students want to go there. There's a lot of amazing real estate companies, obviously based out of Chicago. Indianapolis definitely gets a good amount of students as well. We're starting to definitely place more students in New York. LA has grown a little bit as well. So I'd say those are the main places, but Chicago definitely by far is the number one city, I would say.
And what about role type? Development, private equity, debt, brokerage. Like, what types of roles are more common, and maybe what roles are less common
Yeah,
coming out of
I
school?
mean, we're placing students in basically all career types for real estate. So I would say the most common ones that I've kind of seen basically since I've gone to IU, I would say are um, roles probably in private equity acquisitions type roles. Um, there's definitely a lot of students who will go the brokerage route as well. Students, if they want to go into development, which I think is sometimes a little bit more difficult right off the bat, leaving school, I think that's certainly an option for them. A lot of debt type companies, so it could be like a life co, or it could be a bank. But we're definitely building that up as well.
Good. Well, I have to say I've worked with several Indiana grads in my career. Um, two in particular are two of the smarter, uh, more competent real estate professionals I've ever worked with. And so I think very highly of the education that you're getting there in real estate, no doubt. Um, we're low on time, and I want to make sure to get this last question in, Dylan. You know, as you look back at now your experience at Indiana, participating in the real estate club, um, helping form this student-led private equity endeavor. Is there one experience, one event, one class or project in particular that you can look back to, point out, and say, you know, that had an outsized impact on the trajectory of my career?
Yeah, I would say it started really young actually. For me, my freshman year, I joined the real estate club, and I competed in our annual case competition, and that basically where it was a little bit of hand holding, I would say, in terms of the actual DCF and the financial analysis, but basically we were provided a lot of resources, but we had to build out our own assumptions, present those resources that we were given in a meaningful way. And from that experience, that's where I really knew that real estate was for me. And I was able to talk about that experience in my interviews my freshman year, and that helped me land an internship in development after my freshman year. So um, I would say that was probably the moment where I was like, real estate's for me, probably the biggest moment so far.
Great. Well, Dylan, thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights and experience studying real estate in Indiana. And with that, I'll turn it back to Sam to wrap us up.
Yes, we'd like to thank Dylan for joining us here today, and obviously to our readers and watchers and viewers. Thank you for taking the time to watch this deep dive today, and the best of luck to you and to your adventure in commercial real estate.